Everyone, welcome again to another lecture series, and this time we are going to tackle about the court pillar of our Philippine criminal justice systems. You all know that we have five pillars. First, we have law enforcement. Second, the prosecution. Third, the court, which is we're going to tackle that now, and then the next is the correction, and the lastly is the community. Okay, so first, okay, so let us define what is court and what are the functions of the court as a pillar. Okay, let us define what is court. Ano ba si court? Ano bang trabaho ni court as a pillar? So the court is a governmental body officially assembled under the authority of law at the appropriate time and place for the administration of justice, through which the state enforces its sovereign rights and power. Okay? So this is a government institution wherein legal cases, it is being heard, it is being decided. Kung sa Bisaya pa, no, diri dunggon ang maong kaso, no? Okay, it is the place where the judges apply the law to settle what? To settle disputes, no? When we say to settle disputes, it means that the court, they helps resolve conflicts or legal issues by, of course, applying the law fairly and making decisions based on not just any other basis, no, but based solely on evidences that is being presented by both parties. Okay, so somehow the court acts as a neutral decision maker, no, in either criminal or civil cases, no. It determines, no, the court will determine, of course, in person of the judge, no. It determines whether an accused person is guilty or not, guilty or innocent, and the proper punishment will be given if guilty. And as well, the rights and responsibilities of the parties involved. So it is the court who will determine if someone violated the law, and and as well, it gives justice. Okay? So the court also help enforce the rights and also the powers of the state. Now, speaking of power, let's talk about judicial power. Okay? Ano ba yung judicial power? Okay? Vested in what? No? The judicial power shall be vested in one Supreme Court. Okay? In such other courts as may be established by law. Okay? The judicial power includes the duty of the courts of justice to settle actual controversies. Ano ba ibig sabihin pag sinabing uh, settle actual controversies? No, it resolves it resolve existing dispute involving, it may be legal rights or the rights of persons are affected. Okay, involving rights which are legally demandable and enforceable. Okay, and to determine whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion. What does it mean when we say grave abuse of discretion? Ano ibig sabihin ito? It means serious or unreasonable misuse of power, or kung meron bang ganon, meron bang unreasonable misuse of power, or it goes beyond the limits of their authority, meron bang ganon na nangyayari, no, amounting to a lack or excess of jurisdiction. Wala bang jurisdiction, no, on the part of any branch or instrumentality of the government that this is being defined, no, that is being stipulated in Section 1, Article 7 of the 1987 Constitution. Okay, so now let's talk now about the functions of the court. Ano bang function of the court is a pillar again? So the court will, one, keeping the peace, deciding controversies, administrative role. So in the Philippine criminal justice system, the court pillar, no, importante, it plays an important role in ensuring na meron talagang justice, makakamit talaga yung hustisya, and fairness, no, and order in the society. Now when we say keeping the peace, okay, the as a function of the court helps maintain peace and order, not just it is solely the responsibility of the law enforcement or the first pillar, which as well they are in task with crime prevention, peace and order, but somehow the court as well as first function of the court, they help maintain peace and order by enforcing laws, by enforcing specific laws. Okay, so when offenders are punished fairly, the crime is discouraged, and of course, public safety is protected. Okay, so the decisions of the court, it prevent people from taking justice into their own hands, no. So kaya ano natin yung keeping the peace, because somehow the decision of the court, it prevent, no, people, certain class of people, okay, from taking justice into their own hands once again. Okay, another is deciding controversies. Okay, so the court, they resolve criminal, not just criminal, including civil cases, okay, by hearing evidences. Hearing of evidences of what? Both parties, of course, no? And applying the law. Okay, so in criminal cases, the court decide whether the accused is guilty or innocent. Another is administrative role. The court also manage, no, the supervise judicial processes, including, but it's not limited to handling case records or mag-schedule ng mga hearings, mag-issue ng warrant. Kasi sino ba yung mag-issue ng warrant? Si judge naman, di ba? Okay? And ensuring that cases move properly within the justice system. Okay? So somehow this helps the Philippine criminal justice system function efficiently and fairly. Okay? So next, speaking of criminal jurisdiction, no, let us define what is criminal jurisdiction. Okay? Jurisdiction, the authority to hear and try particular offense and impose the punishment for it. Okay? So when can we say that, speaking of criminal jurisdiction, which is the specific court has the authority to hear, okay, para pakinggan, idinig yung nasabing offense. Okay, when can we say that the court, yung korte na yan, it may be the regional trial court, it may be the MTC or MCTC, eh, paano natin masasabing meron silang jurisdiction? Aba, wag natin kalimutan the requisites for the exercise of criminal jurisdiction. Okay, next slide. Ano ba yung mga requisites? This one, tandaan nyo yung word na STP. Okay, that this is the acronym para madaling yung tandaan, no? S stands for subject matter, and T stands for territory. Okay, and P stands for person of the accused. Okay, these are the requisite. Masasabi natin na the court has a jurisdiction. STP. Now, let's tackle this one by one. Okay, let's start with jurisdiction over the subject matter. Okay, ano ba ibig sabihin ng jurisdiction over the subject matter? So, in simple terms, tandaan nyo, pag subject matter, okay, this is also referring to the jurisdiction over the offense. Okay, jurisdiction over the offense charge. Okay, offense. Now let's define jurisdiction. Okay, jurisdiction over the subject matter. What does it mean? No, it refers to the authority of the court to hear and determine a particular criminal case. In the case of Antiporda versus Garchitorena, the Supreme Court described discretion as the authority to hear and try a particular offense and impose the punishment for it, or that the offense is what the court is by law authorized to take cognizance of. Okay, let's say for example, so, all right, for a moment. Okay, say for example, what do you think a particular court, or what particular court will take cognizance of the case? Let's say, for example, uh, it is punishable. No, the offense is punishable by 10 years. Okay, 10 years and 2 months. Laging may 1 day yan, no? So, for example, the crime is punishable by 10 years and 2 months and 1 day. Okay, what do you think is the particular court that will take cognizance of the case? Okay, it is the Regional Trial Court. No, it is the RTC. Bakit, no? You have to take note that if the imposable penalty does not exceed 6 years, the jurisdiction is on the MTC. But if it exceeds, so then therefore, the jurisdiction will be, CRTC, Regional Trial Court. So itong 10 years and 2 months and 1 day, so does it exceed 6 years? Yes, it exceeds. So therefore, the jurisdiction would be, sino may jurisdiction to try that particular case, that particular offense? Si RTC lang. Siya ang may jurisdiction. Kasi kung sa ibang korte mo yan i-file, papasok dito yung lack of jurisdiction. That's what it mean, no? When we say jurisdiction over the subject matter. Kaya again ha, if does not exceed 6 years, MTC or MCTC yung may jurisdiction. If it exceeds 6 years, it is the RTC. Next. Take note. Next, requisites, jurisdiction over the person of the accused. Paano naman ito ma-acquired? The jurisdiction over the person of the accused is acquired, upon his arrest. Kung na-aresto na si person or na-apprehend, nadakip na, with or without a warrant. Generally, can you arrest a person without a warrant? The answer is no. You cannot arrest a person without a warrant. But this is general rule. Pag sinabing general rule, laging may exception yan. So, anong exception yun? Yun na yung mga warrantless arrest. Yung kalimbawa yung in flagrante delicto or caught in the act or ano ba yan, fugitive from justice, no, personal knowledge, alam niyo na yun. That's the instances where you can arrest a person without the virtue of warrant of arrest. Again, the jurisdiction over the person of the accused, ma-acquire ito upon his arrest or apprehension with or without a warrant, or pwede ring voluntary appearance. Hindi na siya kailangang i-aresto, na? Or submission to the judicial jurisdiction of the court. Because of this submission, itong submission na, it should be voluntary. Because of this voluntary submission, the court can now acquire jurisdiction over the person. Take note, ha? Pwede na. Now, what do you think? What do you think will happen? What will happen if subsequently he will not appear in court? Hindi siya nag-appear sa court during trial, or let's say subsequently he escaped from the custody of the law. Mawawala na ba yung jurisdiction ng court over that person? The answer is no. The jurisdiction over his person is not lost. It will continue until the case is terminated. No, the trial work will continue even if the judgment is favorable or not to him. Yan tinatawag nating trial in absentia. No? Trial in absentia. Ano yan? Trial in absentia. Tutuloy-tuloy yung trial kahit na absent siya. Trial in absentia. Next, provided na na-arraign. Next is, anyway, meron talagang specific, no, as to hihimay-himayin ito in your criminal procedure na course. Next jurisdiction, next requisite, the jurisdiction over the territory. The jurisdiction over the territory. And then what is the venue in criminal cases? Okay, the territorial jurisdiction in criminal cases is the territory where the court has jurisdiction to take cognizance or try the offense allegedly committed therein by the accused. So you have to take note that in criminal cases, venue, venue is jurisdictional. Jurisdictional yung venue. Okay, say for example, ano halimbawa jurisdiction over the territory? Say for example, uh, let's say, si A and let's say A and B. Say for example, itong si A, lagi talagang na i-example si A, no? Yan natin yan. Okay, let's say for example, si A, okay, he mold B. Pag sinabing mold, A, okay, ano ba yung mold? Kung sabi siya, pag ikulata, no? Ano ba yun sa Tagalog yung ikulata? Kayo na mag-adjust. Okay, let's say for example, si A, he mold B. Saan niya, what's this? Saan niya minold si B? Let's say for example, in Tangub City. Okay, Tangub City. Okay, Tangub. Ano yung Tangub? Hirap naman ito. Okay. Say for example, no? Si A, he mold B in Tangub City. Let's say for example, si B, taga Clarin. Okay, itong si B, taga Clarin si B. The municipality of Clarin, no? And then, let's say for example, yun na yun, no? Si A, mold B in Tangub City. Si A, nakatira siya sa Ozames City. Si B naman, nakatira siya sa Clarin. Okay? Ayusin lang natin to, ha? Okay? Hindi pala na record yan. Again ha, si A, taga saan nga si A? Taga Osamis City. Si B, taga Clarin. Si A, binugbog niya si B. Saan niya binugbog? Sa Tangub City. Tangub City. Now, the question is, which court takes cognizance or which court take jurisdiction over this case? Ang pagbabasihan ba kung saan nakatira si A? Ang pagbabasihan ba yung kung saan nakatira si B? Or kung saan nangyari yung offense, which is in Tangub? Take note dito, okay, jurisdiction to take cognizance and try the offense, the offense allegedly committed. The offense is allegedly committed in Tangub. Therefore, the answer is in Tangub City. Tangub City has jurisdiction over this case. Right? Take note as well. Okay, take note as well that for a complaint or information to be sufficient, okay, the same must enable the court through the allegation therein to determine that the offense was committed or any of its essential ingredients occurred at some place within the jurisdiction of the court. Okay, so this rule ensures that cases are filed and tried in the proper court. Okay, so hence the rule places the venue of criminal cases either in the court of the municipality or the territory. Take note of these requisites where the offense was committed. So nangyari yung offense or where any of its essential ingredients occurred. Okay? Next. Okay, speaking of these mga courts ay isa-isahin natin yung mga criminal jurisdiction ng mga trial courts. Okay, what are the criminal jurisdiction of the trial courts? Ano ba yung mga courts na meron tayo, no? Okay, we have MT's Municipal Trial Court, Municipal Circuit Trial Court, Metropolitan, no, and Metro Manila. Okay, or criminal jurisdiction, RTC or the Sandigan Bayan. Ano ba yung mga offense na fall na itong mga trial court na ito? Sila lang yung may jurisdiction or pwede bang CRTC ang may jurisdiction, less than, uh, it does not exceed 6 years. Pwede ba? Pwede, no? Merong mga exception nun. Isisayin natin itong mga courts na ito, trial courts. Okay, let's talk about the criminal jurisdiction ng MTC, Municipal Trial Court, Circuit, and Metropolitan Trial Court. Okay, except lang, no? Okay, generally, the MTC, itong mga offenses na ito, the MTC, the Municipal Trial Court, this one, itong mga nabanggit sa taas, no? They shall exercise following criminal jurisdiction. Okay? So, exclusive original jurisdiction. Pag sinabi nating exclusive, si MTC lang or si MCTC lang, siya lang. Only this court has the authority. Siya lang may authority. Siya lang may jurisdiction. Original jurisdiction over all violations of, okay, ito, city, municipal ordinances. Basta, it is committed within the respective territorial jurisdiction. Another, okay, imprisonment, exclusive original jurisdiction as well over all offenses punishable with imprisonment or not exceed, hindi mag-exceed ng 6 years. Okay, irrespective, pag sinabing irrespective, hindi pagbabasihan yung amount of fine, regardless, kahit na gaano pa kalaki yan, no, regardless of other imposable or other, regardless of other accessory penalties, no, including the civil liability arising from such offenses, irrespective of kind, nature, value, or amount. Okay, still the MTC has jurisdiction to try over these offenses. Okay, so take note of that. So pag sinabi natin na except, so ibig sabihin itong except in cases falling the exclusive original jurisdiction of the RTC, except lang pag sinabi talaga, stipulate talaga na siya, kahit na it does not exceed 6 years, sa RTC ang may jurisdiction or the Sandigan Bayan, what are the instances? Ano ibig sabihin yan? Therefore, the MTC or the MCTC does not at all time have jurisdiction over the offenses that is punishable with imprisonment not exceeding 6 years. Okay? This so happens if the jurisdiction is vested by law under the RTC or the Sandigan Bayan. Halimbawa, libel. Alam mo yung libel? Okay, let's say for example, the crime of libel. Libel is punishable by prison correctional. Diba? You need to familiarize these principal penalties. No? Again, let's say for example, the crime is libel. Okay, again, that is punishable by prison correctional in its maximum or minimum period. Okay, you have to take note the, I'm going to write. You have to take note the RA. Okay, you have to take note RA. Ano ba yun? 10951. 1010. I mean, 10951. Kasi dati, right? Okay, kasi dati, the crime of libel is punishable with a fine ranging from 200 to 6,000 pesos, no? But it is being amended by RE 10951. You take note this RE, RE 10951. What is this RE? It is an act adjusting the amount or the value of property and damage, no, on which a penalty is based. And the fines imposed under the RPC, it amends the Act number 3815. Okay? So, nabago na yung mga fines. Okay, so what is the fines now? That is for the crime of libel. So, according to Article 355, it ranged from 40,000 to 1,200,000, no? Or it could be both. If you do not know, libel is committed by means of writing, or it could be printing, engraving, and so on and so forth, no? We are going to have a separate discussions on libel. Okay, again, let's get back, I'm giving you an example of the crime of libel. Okay, we're talking here a while ago about as to the jurisdiction, no? Again, we're talking here about ano ba yung mga, say for example, no, if it is not does not exceed 6 years. We're talking a while ago ha, huwag kayong mawala na the MTC or the MCTC, it does not at all time have jurisdiction. O, ito na yung pinag-usapan natin ngayon, no? Let's say for example, the crime of libel ha, hindi siya lumagpas, no, lalagpas na, or mag-i-exceed ng 6 years. Pero the law says na, sino may jurisdiction nito? The jurisdiction is CRTC. The law specifically provides that the CRTC yung may jurisdiction. So you cannot file a complaint or information in the municipal trial court. Saan ka magpa-file? Sa regional trial court or in the RTC. Okay? Take note of this principal penalties. You need to familiarize this one. This is very important, no, in determining. Okay? Okay, let's continue the jurisdiction. Okay, of the municipal trial court or the metropolitan trial court. Okay. Number 3, okay, this court has an exclusive original jurisdiction over offenses involving damage to property. Okay, damage to property through criminal negligence, okay, or violations of BP 22 or the bouncing check law. Okay, so even if the check is ranging from 11 million to 15 million, no, still the jurisdiction is CMTC pa rin, ha? Take note of that. Okay? Another is uh, summary procedure in certain cases, a special jurisdiction to decide an application for bail in criminal cases in the absence of all RTC judges in a province or city. Okay? Speaking of rules in summary procedure, let's have a short discussion on the rules and summary procedures, no, kasi it falls in the jurisdiction of the MTC. Okay, uh, summary procedure in criminal cases, the metropolitan trial courts, the municipal trial courts in cities, municipal trial courts, and the municipal circuit trial court shall have jurisdiction over cases falling under summary procedure, provided that is committed within their jurisdiction. Okay, within their jurisdiction. So what are the following cases that are subject to summary procedure? Ano ba yun? Okay, these are the following cases that are subject to summary procedures. Okay, first, violation of traffic laws, rules and regulation, rental law, again, BP 22 or the bouncing check law, mga violation ng mga municipal or city ordinances, okay, or all other criminal cases where the penalty prescribed by law for the offense charge is imprisonment not exceeding 1 year. Again, not exceeding 1 year, or a fine not exceeding 50,000 pesos, irrespective, or offenses involving damage to property through criminal negligence, now where the imposable fine does not exceed 150,000 pesos. Okay, take note that in summary procedure class, this can be initiated. Again, pag summary procedure, it can be initiated by a complaint or pwede ring by information. Okay? But in Metro Manila, take note ha, but in Metro Manila and other chartered cities, all cities in the Philippines are chartered. Okay? In Metro Manila and other chartered cities, no, the filing shall be by information. Take note that it shall be by information, except when offense cannot be prosecuted the official. Take note, it cannot be prosecuted rather the official. Okay, so it is qualified that if it falls in Metro Manila and other chartered cities, if you file a case under summary procedure, it shall be by information. Again, except offense which cannot be prosecuted de officio. Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng de officio? It means that, or prosecuted de officio, it means offense that cannot be initiated with another person. No, and it can only be initiated by the private party. Ha? Take note for the exception. Okay? So under the rules on summary procedure, ano ba, the complaint or information, it shall be accompanied, may mga kasama yung mga affidavit. Affidavit kanino? Affidavit ng complainant, affidavit ng kanyang witnesses, no, in such number of copies as there are accused. Okay, plus 2 copies of the court's file. Okay, you take note as well that when you file a case under summary procedure, you attach the judicial affidavit of the complainants, including as well the judicial affidavit of witnesses, hindi lang yung sa complainant, pati na yung witnesses. Okay? Yung requirement na ito, kailan mo ito i-comply? Okay, ano, pwede ba hanggang sa available or kung saan mo gusto? These requirements should be complied within 5 days from the filing of the case. Take note ha, 5 days lang. 5 days mo lang siya i-comply. Okay? Otherwise, anong mangyayari sa kaso? The case will be dismissed. Okay? The affidavit should be submitted. Take note ha, yung affidavit na sinabit dapat it state only facts. Facts of what? Facts of personal knowledge based on the personal knowledge of the affiant. Not hearsay. Hindi hearsay yung ilalagay mo doon. Pag sinabi nating personal knowledge, it must be by direct, no? Direct personal knowledge of the affiants. And the affidavit, of course, should also show competence of the affiants on the matter that is being stated therein, no? In the complaint. Okay? Or in the information. Okay, under the rules of summary procedure, you take note, anong mangyayari pag hindi mo nasunod yung mga rules na pinag-usapan natin a while ago? Okay? So, violation of those requirements is a ground for disciplinary action. A disciplinary action against whom? Disciplinary action against the party or the counsel na nag-submit ng affidavit. And it is also a ground, magiging ground din siya, yung affidavit, it will be inadmissible. Again, it is also a ground for the inadmissible affidavit for a portion of it to be expunged from the record. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng expunge? Okay, walain, okay, tanggalin sa record. Okay, Section 20, Rules on Summary Procedure. Now, what will happen? Again, under the Rules on Summary Procedure, what will happen if the court finds no cause? Walang ground na i-hold pa yung akusado for trial. Ano mangyayari? It shall order the dismissal of the case. Kung walang ground, kung walang ground or walang cause to hold for trial, to hold the accused for trial, then dismiss. Ganun yung kadali, mabilisan kasi nga summary procedure mabilisan. Okay? Pag mayroong ground, if the court, if there is a ground, if the case serves, again take note, if the case serves no basis for it to hold the accused for trial, then they should be dismissed. But if there is a ground to hold the accused for trial, the court shall set the case for arraignment and trial. Mag-i-issue pa ba yung court ng warrant of arrest? What do you think? The court will not issue, hindi na siya mag-i-issue ng warrant of arrest. But, ano na lang gagawin ng judge? The judge will issue a subpoena. Okay, yan yung i-issue niya ha, subpoena. Okay, alam niyo naman siguro yung subpoena. Okay, subpoena. Okay. The judge will issue a subpoena. Subpoena. Sino yung issue ng subpoena? For the accused. What is the purpose of the judge to why he will issue subpoena? That is to inform that he will be set for arraignment. He will be set later on trial. Take note. Okay? So now, if the accused is in the custody of the crime charge, yung accused is under custody na, matik na, anong susunod? He shall be immediately arraigned. I-arraign na yun. Okay? If he enters a plea of guilty, okay, tatanungin siya, what is your plea? Guilty or not guilty? So, if he plead guilty, then he shall be sentenced. Ganun lang kadali, under summary procedure. But before conducting the trial, the court shall call the parties, no, to a preliminary conference, no, during which the following may be done, no. And then alam niyo yung mangyayari, no, during preliminary conference. The accused is going to take note. Kaya ano mangyayari during preliminary conference? There will be stipulation of facts para mapadali yung trial. What are the matters considered in pre-trial conference? O, yan na yung stipulation of facts, admissions, yan yung ilan, no, that are be considered in pre-trial conference, except ng mga trial dates, witnesses, iba pa, no? Now, can we file any motion? Okay? Can we file? Pwede ba tayong mag-file? Pwede bang mag-file any motion in summary procedure? Again, kailangan yung i-familiarize yung what are those cases that falls under summary procedure. Okay, mabilisan to, hindi ito katulad ng regular trial, no? Okay, pwede bang mag-file? Mabilisan nga. Pwede bang mag-file? No. You cannot file any motion in summary procedure because ang purpose nga ng summary procedure is to have a speedy, pag sinabing speedy, para mapadali yung disposition ng case. Kaya hindi pwede na mag-file ng motion. Now, speaking of motion, okay, what are the prohibited motions and petitions in summary procedure? Ito yung mga bawal, no? Hindi pwedeng mag-motion. Hindi naman to regular trial eh. Okay? Motion to quash the complaint, bill of particular, new trial, relief, extension, or memoranda. These are all will be discussed as well. Kasi kung pag-uusapan natin isa-isa niyan, sobrang haba, no? Okay, in your criminal procedure, no? Okay, ito yun, bawal, no? Okay, you cannot file these motions in summary procedure. Okay, so we're done with the, as to the, I'm just giving you the overview of the summary procedure, ha? Okay, let's continue. Let's continue yung, ano ba pag-usapan natin? The criminal jurisdiction. Those are those, ha? Yun yung mga jurisdiction ng MTC, MCTC, or Metropolitan. Okay, now let's proceed to the jurisdiction of the RTC. Ano na ba yung mga offenses na si RTC lang yung may jurisdiction? Hence, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-file sa MTC kasi si RTC lang eh. Sabi siya lang yung may jurisdiction. You cannot file any complaint or information in another court. Okay, first, exclusive original jurisdiction in all criminal cases not within the exclusive jurisdiction of any court, tribunal, or body except, okay, those now falling under the exclusive and concurrent jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan. Sandigan Bayan, yung mga public officers, no? Doon itatry in yung proper court. Representative is the ombudsman, no? What shall be exclusively taken cognizance of the latter. Okay, original jurisdiction. Eto na yung mga certiorari, prohibition, mga kuwaranto, habeas corpus. Yan. Si RTC ang may jurisdiction. Okay? What else? Okay. Okay, appellate jurisdiction. Pwedeng mag-apila sa RTC over all cases decided by the MTC. Kasi MTC, sunod niya is RTC. Kaya RTC, yan i-apila yung cases already decided in the MTC. Yung sa RTC naman, we have Court of Appeals, no? And then we have Supreme Court, the Court of Last Resort. Okay? Okay, appellate jurisdiction, over the all cases decided by the MTC as amended by RA 7691. By the way, speaking of a while ago, those mga mandamus, mga prohibition, yung mga writs of certiorari, as si RTC yung may jurisdiction na the enforceability of yung mga writs na yon if this be issued by the RTC is within the region lang. No? If this is issued by the Supreme Court, the enforceability is within the entire country. Ha? Okay. Next is special jurisdiction of certain branch to handle exclusively criminal cases as may be determined by the Supreme Court. Another, jurisdiction over criminal and civil aspects of written defamation, okay, designated special court over violation of 9165 or the Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002, no? Uh, we have before this law we have RA 6425, no? It's amended by RA 9165. Jurisdiction over of designated RTC branches of violation of intellectual property or RA 8293. Money laundering. O, lahat ng mga money laundering cases, RTC yan. Siya yung may jurisdiction. However, merong however, those committed by public officers and private persons who are, si public officer, meron siyang ka-conspired. Okay? Officers or conspiracy with such public officer shall be under the jurisdiction of Sandigan Bayan. Okay, again, if si public officer, mayroon siyang ka-conspired na private, so then therefore, it will fall under the jurisdiction of Sandigan Bayan. Okay? Kasi pag public officer, Sandigan Bayan yung may jurisdiction. Okay? Now, speaking of Sandigan Bayan, let's talk about Sandigan Bayan. Ano ba yung mga jurisdiction? Okay, jurisdiction of the Sandigan Bayan, it was set out by 1606, not RA 1319. Ano ba yung PD 1606, no? This is well signed by Ferdinand Marcos. Ito yung nag-create ng Sandigan Bayan. Again, the 15-1606, it was created the Sandigan Bayan. It is a specialized Philippine Anti-Graft Court. The RA 39, it is the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Okay? So, the Sandigan Bayan shall exercise original jurisdiction in all cases involving violation 3019, okay, violation of RA 1379. Ano ba yung RA 1379? It is the Philippine law that authorizes the state not to forfeit what? Any property that is unlawfully acquired by public officers or employees. Okay? Okay, or one or more of the accused or officials occupying the following positions in the government, whether in a permanent, acting, or interim capacity at the time of the commission of the offense. What else? Ano pa ba yung mga cases that falls under the Sandigan Bayan? Okay, we have the members of Congress and officials therefore classified as grade 27. Okay, members of the judiciary, yung salary grade niya, grade 27. Huh? Members of the judiciary without prejudice to the provisions of the Constitution, chairmen and members of the constitutional commissions. Ano ba yung, speaking of constitutional commission, meron tayong Civil Service Commission. They are, pag sinabing Constitutional Commission, they are independent. No? Okay, ano pa ba? COMELEC. And then we have COA, no? Okay, or the Commission on Audit. Without prejudice to the provisions of the constitutions. And another is all other national and local officials classified as grade 27. Si Sandigan Bayan, si Sandigan Bayan yung may jurisdiction. Okay? Take note ha, all cases na na-elevate sa Sandigan Bayan, sino ba sa tingin niyo yung maging lawyer of the state? The lawyer of the state, ang tawag dyan is, would be the office of the ombudsman. Okay, si ombudsman. Again, the lawyer of the state ha. Again, lahat ng mga cases na na-elevated sa Sandigan Bayan, the lawyer of the state would be the office of the ombudsman through its special prosecutor ha, si ombudsman. Ombudsman. Do not forget ha, it is the lawyer Okay, it is the ombudsman. Okay, the ombudsman through its special prosecutor. Siya yung si ombudsman, he shall represent the people of the Philippines and from the Sandigan Bayan to the Supreme Court. Okay, again, take note ha, in case private individual is charged as co-principal or accomplice, no? Or kaya accessory siya sa public officer or employees, okay, including those employed in government-owned corporation, okay, they shall be tried jointly within the said public officers and employees in the proper courts, which shall exercise exclusive jurisdiction over them. Okay, now, speaking of salary grade 27, eh, meron bang exception that regardless of the salary? Pwede bang, that does it limit only to salary grade 27? Meron ba? Okay, there are exceptions to salary grade 27. Okay, meaning regardless of the salary grade, kahit na yung salary grade mo hindi umabot sa grade 27, the following can still be prosecuted in the Sandigan Bayan. Ano ba yun? Okay? Provincial governors, vice governors, members of the Sangguniang Panlalawigan, provincial treasurers, assessor, engineer, and other provincial department heads. What else? City mayor. Kasali si city mayor, vice mayor, members of the Sangguniang Panglungsod, city treasurer, assessors, no, and other city department heads. Okay, what else? Okay, what else? And then officials of the diplomatic service occupying the position of consul and higher. Okay, the Philippine Army and Air Force colonels, naval captains, and all officers of higher rank. And then officers of the Philippine National Police occupying the position of PD or the provincial director, and those holding the rank of senior superintendent or higher. Okay, namin din itong mga ranking ha, meron ng new rank classifications ng PNP. Okay, kayo na mag-research ano ba yung bagong equivalent ng senior superintendent. Okay? And then city and provincial prosecutors and their assistants and officials and prosecutors in the office of the ombudsman and special prosecutor. And then the presidents, okay, directors or trustees or managers of government-owned or controlled corporations, state universities or educational institutions or foundations. Okay? So those are the exception to salary grade 27 na kahit na hindi umabot, no? They can still be prosecuted in the Sandigan Bayan. Okay? So for now, ito lang muna, no? Okay, so let's continue this one and you answer these review questions, no? You have 5 minutes to answer this one. The timer starts now. 5 minutes.